All right, you guys, podcast time. We got the equipment and the perfect business plan. Give our show away for free and tell no one how to find it. Ready?
Welcome to another episode of the Brand X Podcast. Merry Christmas. Hope you're having a happy New Year. We're doing this the Friday before New Year, so this is kind of like our last hurrah of 2017. And alongside of me is my co-host Deuce.
Come stop, bitches.
I had to steal Deuce's soundboard, his access to his soundboard.
Steal is such an ugly word. I used the word procure.
I procured Deuce's soundboard because we're having a special guests this episode, and we're bringing them in live. And to do that and do Facebook Live, I needed another computer and another sound card, and I had to procure
Very good.
Deuce's sound card just for the interview. And then afterwards, I'm going to give it back so he can fuck with me with sound effects like he always does. How was your holidays, dude? I haven't even talked or nothing. We have not talked since the last time.
They were, well, I mean, it was my weekend to work, so that whole weekend I was working, including Christmas Day.
That blows.
Yeah, it's just the way the calendar falls. But I'm off New Year's Eve.
I remember the most fun I've ever had on New Year's was when I DJ'd.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you were a DJ and you DJ'd on New Year's Eve, first of all, you made twice as much money as you normally would. And then everybody was ready to party. And everybody was ready to dance. You didn't have to coax them up. You didn't have, come on, now get up and dance and all. It was, as soon as it got to be, like everybody was like milling around, and as soon as it was midnight, you just come out with a bunch of dance songs, and the place looked like water. The whole dance floor was just covered with people.
It's like a mosh pit.
Exactly. It was amazing. And I would play until like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning.
Was the last time you disc jockey, was that the New Year's Eve in Haddonfield? Where Don and Denise and me and Diane and you and Sandy were there. You disc jockeyed that at the... Was that in a fire hall?
That was at a fire hall. Was that the one where the fire alarm went off and all the guys left? Was that year? I did it twice.
No, it wasn't that year.
Okay, so the one year...
Because I've got the pictures where you on stage and Don and I on stage also.
Yeah, I mean, this is 80...
No, it's not that far
90?
back.
91, 92?
It would have been 91, 92, possibly 93.
I guess that probably was the last time because...
It might have been before Don and Denise were married, but Diane and I were. Okay. So that would have been 90, January 93.
All right, early 90s.
Right.
The one year we went there, and just before New Year's, the fire whistle went off, and they all had to leave. All the guys had to leave. They all got up and left. It was just me and the ladies.
Oh, I would have remembered that.
Yeah.
No, that didn't happen.
So then we did it the next year. I think probably was the last New Year's I've ever done.
Because then you did Kemble's wedding reception.
Yeah. What happened was once I started working in the elevator business, I only brought out the DJ equipment for like special occasions, like friends or something like that. I remember doing a New Year's for a friend, and he had just got back from Mexico. He was there for over the Christmas week, and he came back, and they rented a hall, and we were there, and I'd never seen anything like it. I mean, it was just nonstop dancing, and it was a blast. It was amazing. Yeah, that was probably the last time that I think that's when I put everything away, because back then we were still using vinyl records.
Yeah, 45s and
maybe
LPs.
Some CDs I had, but everything was 45s and turntables.
Yeah, but the CDs they were out. But depending on the structure you were playing in, if there was a lot of dancing, remember you'd have like...
They would skip.
Yeah, they would skip horrendous. Now, it's really amazing how they isolated that issue. But you would be playing like Elton John, like a dance mix. Like,
right. Yeah. And I just couldn't keep up with the music. And then the music kind of got away from me. I didn't know the music.
It changed. We didn't realize that at the time, but that was like... We discussed it before when we were at DBK back in the day. There was that... shift was going on in music, but we didn't realize it at the time. Like the hair bands were going out, but the grunge bands were coming in, and then it was the rise of hip hop, the gangster hip hop. Hip hop was out there, but then the gangster rap started coming out. We really didn't. It's funny when you look back at it, but when you're in the eye of the storm, you don't necessarily see it.
Remember we talked I think it was last episode about the hotel that used to be called the Dutch Inn.
Yeah.
And it's shut down now. Although I just saw them put up a magic carpet inn. Oh, we'll be opening up the magic hello, we'll be opening up the Magic Carpet Inn in a few months.
On that building?
Yes.
I haven't driven by it in about 2 weeks or so.
So
Because I don't have to go there as often as I had.
So I got hired by a sorority to come in and play. And they said two things. Don't stop playing and don't play one slow song. Like, okay.
How fast did you burn through those records?
Oh, I was
Loaded for bear for
Well,
songs?
let's see. They came in, it was social. So they came in, they had dinner, and then the girl just looked at me and pointed. And I had like 3 or 4 sets, like 20 songs ready to go. And I just went through it. And then they started asking for, do you have this? Do you have that? Yes, yes. And they basically programmed it for the rest of the night.
Right.
These broads were crazy. They were insane. They're dancing on the tables. They're throwing drinks. They're throwing glasses.
A college sorority? Unheard of.
Right. So the manager comes up to me and says, listen, you, first of all, play a slow song because they need to calm down. And I said, I'm not allowed to play a slow song. So then he says, what do you mean you're not allowed to play a slow song? I said, I was told not to play a slow song. I said, who told you? So I pointed her out and he went over and he started talking to her. And the next thing you know, you see hands up in the air and finger pointing and back and forth. And she's pointing at him and he's pointing at her. And he comes back over. He says, play a slow song. I said, sir, you're not paying me. I'm doing what they tell me. He says, if you don't play a slow song, I'm shutting this down. I said, you have to talk to her. Back over he goes, finger pointing, this and that, blah, blah, blah. Within not even 20 minutes, like 10 minutes, all of a sudden, the lights went out and the power went off the mic.
We're going dark.
Yeah, we went dark. And then they're fighting back and forth. And that was it. They shut the party down.
Ish.
They threw them out.
The first time I met you, you were disc jockeying at the VCI.
Yes. Yes, that's true.
That was just over 30 years ago.
That is true. So, okay. I don't do that anymore because first of all, I wouldn't even know what to play. Like maybe I could do oldies.
Well, not for nothing, man, but they don't want to see an old dude up there spinning records.
It's true.
You would have no street cred whatsoever.
That's true.
You know.
That's true.
You'd have to like go to the Crazy Cat where Genghis used to when I was open.
The old folks home.
Yeah, right. And play the big band music.
Get them swinging around so much teeth are flying out.
Yeah.
The old
Pants are falling down.
Yes. All right. So guess what happened? I got in trouble in social media twice.
Did you get tired of this?
Yeah.
Don't you
so much so that I
You've arranged an intervention for yourself.
No. Well, that's true. But the Techno Bully Twitter account,
I see you killed it.
That was it. I deleted it.
Yeah, talk about a self-fulfilling prophecy. Yeah, you thought it was a hoot when I called you that. Oh, I'm going to use that as my Twitter handle.
Right.
Har, har, har.
Well, the thing is that, people know me like through podcasting and clients know me and all. And then, I get into these fights and the next thing you know, I'm not really like this savvy business guy or anything, but I don't think you should use the word cunt on your business Twitter. I don't think there's any way I can come back from that.
Yeah, you really can't justify that.
Right. It's like, but she deserved it.
Well, maybe if you had a 3-piece suit on.
No.
Like, wow, he's a businessman. It's totally apropos now. He can use that word.
I think you could use the word cunt.
While wearing a 3-piece suit.
Right. So what happened was, and I got to say, dude, most of the time I deserve the ass kicking that I got, but not this time. Because I just opened up Twitter and I see that Dr. Guntner, Dr. Jen Guntner, our old pal, and I forgot that I was not on the Brand X Twitter page or Twitter account. I was on my Technobully Twitter account. So she put out a tweet, and I have it here. So I'll pull it up and I'll read it for you.
Yeah,
I
always have trouble following Twitter wars because Twitter just makes it's not like Facebook, which is step 1, step 2, step 3.
Right.
It's all in order. It's just like a minefield blew up.
Right. So she wrote, women are more likely to die when there's a gun in the house. And I said, where are you getting your more likely stats? Women should be arming themselves and practicing safe gun ownership. I guarantee there will be a lot less #MeToo tweets out there. Right? That's what I thought. And all hell broke loose. So.
And this eludes you.
Well, of course, when that happens and I get attacked because I was attacked, then I I fight back.
Well-
Now, here's the thing. Just because you poke me and I come over the top with a haymaker, you can't blame me. Just because I'm better at this than you are, you can't blame me.
But you're in her sandbox, much like the ace queen pro.
Okay. I asked a simple question.
Mhm.
Where did you get the stats? And she goes, well, I'm not your lackey. Go get your own stats. Google it. Now, you can Google gun stats and all kinds of things. I just wanted to see what she was. And I swear it was innocent.
Mhm.
So then I get a tweet from Cunt Chocula who says, my PSD from being shot by my husband would beg to differ with you. And which I write back, face your fears. And then she says, meaning what exactly? Go to the gun range, went in October, talking to jackasses that have no concept of reality when it comes to domestic violence every fucking minute online. Like, jackass? Why you gotta call me a jackass?
Mhm.
So with that, I tweeted, I'm amazed he shot at you. Hashtag, not really.
Mhm.
Hashtag, I'm with him. And then the doctor, lost her shit.
Well, duh.
Of course, the doctor says, you are a fucking horrible person and a troll, and I am blocking you now, and I hope all my followers do too, which would have been fantastic
Mhm.
because I would have rather been blocked. But oh, no, that's not what happened. They come over the wall like a horde, and they just started. And
Like the orcs at Helm Deep.
whatever that is, I'm sure it
I love
was.
to use these references.
I have no
I
idea
know
what you're
you
talking
will
about.
get.
Right, exactly. And then
Joe's laughing, I'm sure.
Joe's laughing. So it started with that. And then there was another woman that chimed in. And of course, what they do then is then they bring something else and it has nothing to do with anything.
Oh, a non sequitur?
Exactly.
How shocking.
Right. So then she says, well, I guess if you're like that, I guess, if someone came in and raped me, it'd be my fault. And I said, you know what? Don't do it. But I did. I typed in, well, it really wouldn't be your fault. It would be the fault of the guy with real bad eyesight that ended up raping you.
Mhm.
And then all hell broke loose. So
And then you got blocked?
well, the doctor blocked me right
from
away.
Twitter, I mean.
No.
Oh,
never.
wow, you didn't get
Never did I get blocked. They
Wow.
reported me, not to the FBI this time.
Wow, you got blocked for less.
I know. They reported me and they kept saying, I'm reporting him. And then I would just type in, still here. So anyhow, I want to bring on the show. Let's see if this works. Gentlemen, are you there?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Look, both of them are there. This is a
Sitting
New
here
Year's
listening to you fucking lie.
This is a New Year's miracle. First of all,
hello, Doug and Anthony.
How you doing, Dose?
And I'm going to sit back and watch this.
this is Doug and Anthony from the Who's Right podcast, and I'll answer that. They are not right because they didn't get any of that right. Now, first of all,
did you need us to do the comedy or
I read the tweets. Right from what I said.
So, first thing I want to know is why did you cancel that Twitter account?
Well, like I said, people know me from like business and stuff like that. And
No. Why did you cancel it before now? Because of course I was just going to read your tweets. That was going to be my defense as to why I'm here. I was going to read the tweets that you had wrote, but now they're gone.
Yeah, that's true.
So tell me, why are me and Anthony here?
Well, because
now,
I'm
see, I
sitting
didn't
there.
know this.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the plot thickens.
So while I'm sitting there and all of a sudden I see, bonus episode of the Who's Right podcast. And it's where Doug and Anthony are going to apologize to Kevin Smith because they yelled at, Doug did.
back up. I didn't apologize to nobody.
I said Doug. Doug apologized for.
I just want to make that clear.
Oh, I know. You never apologize for anything. So then after they do like 2 minutes of that, they go, you know what? You know who needs somebody to do their Twitter? John. And then they went on this big giant rant and none of it was right.
Well, I was shaking my head yes the whole time.
I'm sure you were.
And anybody that's ever seen you use Twitter knows it's true. At least I admit that I'm bad at Twitter, John. Just ease into it, you know?
Well, first of all, am I supposed to just sit?
There, man. Just play into it.
Am I supposed to just sit there and let them attack me and say nothing?
Yes.
So you attacked them.
No, I did not.
Yes, you did. Well, I guess I can't prove that now because you've removed the tweets.
You called their leader Dr. Kuntner.
No, not then I didn't. And you called her.
It's separate. This is a separate incident. Everything's just
sure.
clean.
Hey, listen.
You're innocent now.
Wait a minute.
No, you wait a minute.
If we're going to go
God,
back that far,
look at it this way. Why do you have more than one Twitter account?
Oh, because I need more than one Twitter account.
Because you keep getting fucking blocked.
That's
you're
true. Yes. Right. I do.
It's fine to be a troll, but fucking own it.
Why?
Don't say, okay. Woe is me. Everybody's attacking me for no reason.
What makes me a troll? Like I said, when I get attacked is when I attack. I don't really attack.
I see. So she actually wrote something on your timeline, and you responded to that.
Well, she answered me back.
That's what I said. You were in her sandbox.
You're really not wrapping your head around this? I don't understand.
I asked a simple question, and I didn't even ask. I didn't say, "Hey, listen, Dr. Kuntner. Excuse me, where are you getting your information?" I just said, "Hey, where are you getting this?"
Every interaction that you've had with this woman before was perfectly good, and now all of a sudden she's attacking you.
She didn't even know who I was because I wasn't using the Brand X account. She didn't know who Technobully was. She had no idea who I was.
Now she does.
Oh, she does now. Well, I don't think she does now because she blocked me.
Mm-hmm.
So all I did, and they all come over, and then one cunt Chocula, she's sitting there saying that she was, shot by her husband and all that, and getting all the sympathy. And here, I find out later.
Getting all the sympathy.
Yeah.
Does it hurt you when somebody else gets sympathy? Is that what you need?
No.
Is there only so much sympathy to go around that it upsets you that somebody else gets it? We're getting fucking shot.
She was the victim.
He didn't. I find out.
Your side here,
wait
man.
a minute, guys. Let me finish. I didn't even.
Let me finish. Yeah. How many times do you say that? Let me finish. You go in there and you poke the bear, and then the bear just beats the shit out. And that's another thing. When you were sitting there trying to introduce yourself, you said, if somebody jabs me and I'm better than them, and I come over with an overhand right, you're not better at them and all. Everybody constantly
better at them at comebacks.
No.
Better at comebacks. Better at them at comebacks.
You're not. Everybody comes at you and they demolish you with words, and then you just say things that are offhanded, and
you just don't like it when I come back with a good quip. You don't like it. You can't stand it.
I haven't ever.
How would I know? You never have.
So then I find out Count Conchocula.
Is that her name, or you just call
her Twitter name? That's her Twitter name.
I don't know with you sometimes. Right.
Conchocula. Here, she didn't even get shot. He shot at her. He never shot her. He only shot at her.
So she's not deserving of sympathy?
Hey, listen, I was stabbed by a woman with a car key one time because we were in an argument.
Why, John.
Okay.
But you've also been tasered, peppered spray.
No, and I also got hit in the head with a glass Pepsi bottle one time. All right. So, you know what?
Maybe don't be such an ass.
Was that during? Hey,
I'm also a victim of domestic violence.
John, was that all during the same attempted rape?
No.
Oh, different times.
Different rapes.
It was a series of attempted rapes.
Jesus, you too. No, so what happened was, and then they, like I said, they all started. So then Doug comes on, and he didn't even get any of it right. Listen, if I do something wrong, and you're gonna break my balls about it, and I did it, have at it. I mean, whatever.
All right,
that's fine.
All right, wait, what did we do wrong?
Yeah, hold on, John.
Yes.
Give me 10 seconds to talk, and then you can mute me or whatever.
10 seconds.
How many times have I heard you since I've been listening to your show say the exact same thing? When I'm wrong, I'll admit it. And if I ask for feedback and somebody gives me negative feedback, I'll take that.
Right.
None of that is ever true.
I don't even know what
when you're wrong and you get told you're wrong, you fly off the handle and you start throwing haymakers, as you call them.
If I'm wrong, yes.
Or if
but
you
when
ask
I'm not,
if you ask for feedback and somebody gives you feedback, you go fucking ape shit on them.
If I don't agree with it, and I listen,
then don't ask for the feedback.
if I don't agree with it, then I am going to say something. I'm going to make a point of why I did something the way I did it. If they don't understand what I'm doing,
from about 3 months ago.
I knew you were going there.
If anybody's got any feedback, feel free to call my voicemail. I'll be more than happy to take it. Hey, John,
I wish I still had that.
Who's right? Oh, fuck you, Doug. You're a piece of shit. You call my show, tell me what the fuck I do it. I don't give a fuck.
But see, what happens with Doug is he doesn't get the bit.
Hey, this is Doug from Who's Right.
Huh.
First thing is, I love the new segments, or the way you're breaking it up into segments. Show flows nicely. Second thing is, quit crowbarring your fucking pre-recorded voicemail bullshit into the conversations. Your co-hosts are trying to get a word in, and you keep fucking cutting them off.
Yeah, deuce. The fuck's wrong with you?
Well, there you go.
There you
So
have it.
apparently, when you said that, my voicemail was very rude,
Uh-huh.
and then I brought it up and played it, I offended Doug. So, Doug, please let me take this time.
I think he was referring to the Jimmy bit.
I don't think so. I don't know.
Play that again.
Let's play that one more.
I think he's referring to the when you did Jimmy on the voicemail with the lottery winner hit.
Hey, this is Doug from Who's Right. First thing is, I love the new segments, or the way you're breaking it up into segments. Show flows nicely. Second thing is, quit crowbarring your fucking pre-recorded voicemail bullshit into the conversations. Your co-hosts are trying to get a word in.
I think you're right.
Fucking cutting them off.
He didn't like the bit where I did the Jimmy and then did the phone calls for the. Is that what he didn't like?
Well, he's right here saying again and again.
So let me get this straight.
The Jimmy bit. He's telling you right here. The Jimmy bit.
He didn't like the Jimmy bit? Well, listen, let me tell you. I don't. Hey, Doug, I don't sit there and come to the show and I actually do some preparation. I try to do some bits. If something you didn't like, I just got to say, what you could do? You can suck on.
He's nuts.
There you go.
That's a sound drop that'll live forever.
Listen.
You will now go down in soundbite history.
I like the part where you said, "Oh, I think you're right."
Yeah.
Can you?
I won't be able to find that in the audio.
Mysteriously, that'll
Right,
be like the
so
lost
did you.
11 minutes on the Nixon Watergate tapes, and like it'll never to be heard from again.
I think you're right. And now Doug's saying take 3.
So what you're saying is he didn't like it when I did. Hi, Mavis. It's the Jimmy again. In all my excitement, I forgot to leave you my phone number. It's 856-241-5555. I get flustered around beautiful women, and, well, you really are something, you are. Call me back. Gotta go. He didn't like that.
I thought it was funny.
Yeah, see? That's what I'm talking about. Look, Doug, I get it. You're jealous.
You know what's
You
funny?
come to your show.
You just got on
have
here to say,
nothing.
"Here's the phone number if we did something you don't like."
I didn't say
and Doug told you he didn't like it.
First of all,
and now you're all angry and bitter.
I'm not saying I won't respond to it. What the fuck am I? Some fucking scale jerk off?
Oh, so basically the phone number is just bait for a fucking argument so you can get there. Yeah, call me up. Tell us you don't
If
like
there's
it.
anything you want to correct
Motherfucker,
us,
suck these nuts.
if you want to yell at us, or tell us,
All right, it
what
wasn't.
the fuck, Doug?
Listen, it wasn't no. Whatever.
Oh, boy. Okay.
But okay, so you didn't like. I do an hour and a half, and you find one little bit you don't like, and you got to call about that. It's fine.
I like how you read that completely different than what it really was.
Yeah. Thank God you were here. I would have totally missed that.
You're pretty self-unaware at times.
Yeah, I guess I am. Fucking guy.
Doug or me.
So anyhow.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Oh, and then
then
they're on their show, and where you go, I love the show. I think Doug is funny, and Anthony is a genius.
Anthony is brilliant.
Brilliant. And like they took that totally out of context because you don't mean that. And
Maybe I do.
no, you don't. But they played that out of context. You don't think Anthony's a genius.
I didn't say
You don't
he was
think
a
he's
genius.
You
I
don't
said
think
he was
he's brilliant. There's no way.
Yeah.
Oh, please. You might listen. You might be able to sell that bullshit somewhere else, but I'm all fucking full of crazy over here. You ain't bringing that crazy to my house. That's not going to happen. Now Doug's crying. Don't ask. No, keep calling. I didn't know that you didn't like my little bit. Hey, I put my heart and soul into this, and all of a sudden you call in and like shit all over my bit. You know what you can do? You can kiss
These nuts.
Thank you. Now that's a funny bit, Doug. You gotta love that. No, thanks for calling in with that, Doug. And you know, sometimes hey, listen, not every one of them can be a home run. Every once in a while, one of them dribbles down the first baseline and is just picked up and dug out. What can you do? But I try.
It is what it is.
You know how long I had to work on that fucking thing to do? get
Coming the
it.
whole day.
Yeah, I'm sitting there and trying to do stuff.
Laughing at yourself the whole time.
It's going to be great.
Yeah.
This cocksucker calls me up and says, Jesus. I'll tell you what. Yeah, I know that bit was no moving story. Like when you drove a truck across from wherever the fuck you lived in the middle of the country to North
I found
Carolina.
that fascinating.
I'm sure you did. Now, in all honesty, I appreciate Doug bringing that in. I am breaking his balls. If he doesn't like it, that's fine. It's no big deal. I plan on doing more shit he doesn't like in the future. And you know what? Call in and tell me you don't like that, and I'll tell you, you know what? You can suck on
these nuts.
Thank you. So what happened? He didn't get that. He didn't get it. That's the problem.
What? You asked for feedback.
Wait, he didn't
You are a deflective motherfucker.
I had to explain.
Everything is everybody else's fault.
I had to explain to him what I was trying to do.
If you have to explain comedy to somebody, it's not fucking comedy.
You were all butthurt because I used a sound effect. You don't like sound effects. Sound effects to these two
that's
are
me
like
that doesn't like sound
nails on a blackboard. They can't stand if you play a sound effect.
Because it's
What the fuck does
hacky.
it have to do
It's
with
hacky.
what we were talking about?
Fuck you!
So anyhow,
Yeah, see, hacky.
it's why it's hacky? Because you don't know how to do it, number one. Okay? And you can't even do it. If
But
you
thanks for
could,
calling-
if you,
Thanks for calling the feedback line.
first of all, John, how do I play sound effects? They asked me, how do I play sound effects? I said,
They,
wait,
don't say they. It wasn't they. It was fucking Doug.
Doug asked me.
I don't want sound
Listen,
effects on our show.
the Who's Right podcast,
You're a fucking liar. You're
the
fucking
Who's
lying.
Right
You better be
podcast,
talking to fucking John.
the Who's Right podcast.
John, you're fucking lying.
Did
I
you
never
not
once
ask how I can play clips on my show?
Clips and sound effects is two different fucking things. I said I wanted to play videos and talk over them. I didn't say I wanted to play fucking gunshots and dogs barking every fucking 30 seconds.
Bullshit!
Said anyone play?
John, you play hacky sack?
No.
Here's the thing.
When I do something, I try to paint a picture.
Oh, God.
Okay? I try to do theater of the mind. Use a little sound effects while I'm doing something.
All right. So here's the thing. When I do something,
The mind.
Yeah.
What a turd.
I want to do it every 15 seconds.
It's not every 15 seconds, you two hacks. First of all,
Why are you stealing my words? Come on.
listen, if you don't listen to me about their show, go
Listen,
over to
don't listen
Whose
to
Are
me.
These Podcasts to their not this last episode, but the episode before that. Go to that and listen to what someone else talks about their show.
Yeah, please
Oh,
do.
listen. All of a sudden they got all quiet, didn't they?
I said, please do. Did you not hear me?
Yeah. After a big long silence.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
What, has got to be Johnny on the spot?
I don't know. I can't get a word in edgewise, so when they shut up, I thought either they died of asphyxiation or something like that, because you usually can't get a word in
I
edgewise.
think
with these
you're
two.
getting flustered because you're getting so upset because you're so wrong.
Do I look
Yeah.
upset?
Yes.
I can't see you.
Jeez, I'm talking to Deuce. I'm not upset. I just want you guys to get shit right. Like, if you ever wrote anything
I want you to
down,
explain to me what did we get wrong? Explain what we got wrong exactly.
well, first of all, you made it sound like I just went in and found some lady that got shot. You know, her husband shot her, and I decided to say, well, I wonder why he shot you. I didn't do that. When she came after
You
me,
did, though.
no, after she came after me, I said, I wonder
So
why
somebody
she shot.
calls you a jackass. So then
And you wish
your
death on
husband-
her.
When someone calls me a jackass, I say, your husband took a shot at you? Wonder why. Yeah,
maybe
I
try
do
a
that.
little self-reflection, step back and say, man, am I being
Yeah,
a jackass?
that's what I do. That's what I do.
I'm trying to help you out here.
Yeah, I know. That's okay.
John, I've never been to your house, but I have to assume there's no mirrors in there.
Not here in the studio, there isn't.
There's one in the bathroom. That's all I need. I don't need self-reflection. I know what I'm doing. My mistake was using my personal account instead of my show account.
Yeah, because you can't help yourself. That's exactly what your problem is. You
Even
can't
at this
help
point,
yourself.
You still think that that's your only mistake.
It is. It is really my only mistake. So what I did was
We need a flow chart.
Wow.
So what I did was I deleted that account, and I still have it my original Twitter
Your other
account.
72 Twitter accounts.
One of my other 72 Twitter accounts is what I'm using now. And I'm like Doug and Anthony. I do not use any pictures of myself or anything like that on there. So nobody really knows who it is. Well, they do, kind of, sort of. But at least it's going to be people from the podcast, not from people that know me from other things. And then I can do what I want.
So let me just ask you this. Do you
Go
not
ahead.
think that you did anything wrong?
Which time?
Jesus Christ.
The time that we're talking about.
Hey, did Dr. Guntner block you?
Okay, so
More deflection.
You know what you just did, Trump? you're like every
How
other
dare you?
every other Republican. That's what you're doing right now.
Did you hear this, Deuce? I'm a Republican.
No, you're acting like it.
Oh.
But what about? But what about? You don't just answer the question. You say,
It's
but
all
what
about deflection.
All right, ask me the question again because I forgot it.
Jesus Christ.
Welcome to my world.
Jesus Christ, dudes. I don't know how the fuck you keep going down to that fucking basement every week. Fuck. Are you ready, John?
I'm ready. Answer the question.
Can you write it down?
Well,
John, do you think that in your recent interaction, starting with asking your question to Dr. Guntner, do you think that you were out of line at all?
no, not asking the question.
No. From that point to
Starting
now.
with.
No,
All right. So there's the problem.
I don't know why that's a problem. When someone attacks
wished
you,
death
you go
on
after it.
somebody.
You told somebody that you
no.
I did
somebody
not wish
called-
death on her. All I said was, geez, with that kind of attitude, I wonder why your husband took a shot at you. That's all I said.
Would you
No,
say
you-
that to just some stranger that you didn't know? Just walk in real life?
Did you ever try?
Ask Deuce.
Did you ever
if
try
John-
transposition? Like, suppose you were that woman and you said something like that, and someone, would you come over and give them a haymaker? Yes.
Deuce, you've known me for 30 years.
Mhm.
When someone says something like that and we're out somewhere, do I?
That's not what I asked you. I said, if the roles were reversed
Yes.
and you told someone that you got hit in the head with a Pepsi bottle and they
Yes.
came back and said, well, I can understand why they hit you in the head with a Pepsi bottle, how would you react?
Fair enough.
Aha!
You're so full of shit.
Fair enough.
You
I
just
don't
know
think,
when
I
you've
don't
been
think other
beaten
than
here.
just now you've ever uttered the words fair enough.
I do it all
Yeah.
the time.
In John's defense, he does say fair enough quite often.
Right.
He doesn't mean it,
Shut
but
the
he
fuck up,
says
dude.
it. But
Oh, yeah. God forbid anybody defends me here.
Right.
So what?
I certainly didn't come on here to hear you get defended.
Oh, I know. You just came in here to try to bury me again. Like on your,
It turns
20
out you
minutes.
did it well enough on your own. I didn't even need to show up.
hey, all I did was try to defend myself a little
Doug
bit.
was
here.
just a passive witness to
Yeah.
your self-burial.
Well, no. And again, he
Saying
calls
that
me
when you're wrong, you'll admit it, but you won't.
because I wasn't wrong. When I'm wrong, I'll admit it.
Never-
Like
have you
net
ever been wrong,
neutrality.
ever?
Like net neutrality, I was all upset about net neutrality.
Oh,
If they were
fuck.
going to revoke it, and now
Okay,
I'm like, I'm
I
okay
don't
with
have
that.
it in me to argue with this about. I can't. I can't.
Look and listen to him. Look, the steam is coming out of his ears right now.
Well, it's because you're engaging in a non sequitur.
Well,
This has
I
nothing-
said no. He said when you admit when you're wrong. When I was first talking about net neutrality,
Mhm.
I didn't want it revoked. I was wrong. It was okay to revoke it.
Still waiting for that apology, by the way.
Deuce, I'm sorry. You were right. I don't know why I have to apologize to you because I flip flopped on a position, but
No,
okay.
because you yelled at me on the podcast, so I said,
We were
well,
having a
fuck it.
discussion.
Oh, yeah, you yelling at me. I said, well, you know what? Much like Anthony, I said, you know what? I'm not even going to bother with this. I'll just clam up.
All right. So are you done with us then? Or
Well, I don't know.
well, I don't want to talk.
I mean, we
about
could
net
bash
neutrality.
you more. I don't want to talk about net neutrality either.
Yeah.
I want to have a nice night with my family, and I don't want it to be ruined by this dumb bullshit.
Deuce, was net neutrality, revoking net neutrality, was that a big deal, Deuce?
Shut the fuck up.
Was it, Deuce? Are they all upset about a bunch of nothing?
In my opinion, and in the opinion of many experts, but there's always going to be two sides to any issue.
Yeah, the right side and your side.
Right.
God damn it! See, you're dragging me in.
See?
Motherfucker, stop it.
You can't even have a simple conversation about something that has to do with the internet. You lose your mind. You're as bad as that fucking cunt chocula.
Wow.
What's the big deal?
that's
You can't
a
have a
stretch.
discussion about something like what? Okay,
John,
here we go. Anthony, let me ask you this quick
How many
question.
times you going to beat this fucking horse?
Let me ask you this quick question because Anthony, I don't get a chance to talk to
Your
Anthony.
comedy podcast has spent the last 12 hours.
Trust
talking
me,
about net
I've
neutrality.
never seen so many fucking comments in Facebook. It just keeps streaming up. So, Anthony, tell me real quick, what do you think net neutrality is, and what
Just
was the
agree with
problem
him
we voted?
so we can go.
Briefly.
I think net
Anthony, grab your purse. I'm leaving.
By the way,
Sorry, we gotta go.
just to let you know, Anthony, I put my tree up about the 17th of December, so I'm right there with you.
Oh, see, good. That's good.
I didn't put my tree up at all.
Yeah, well, you hate Christmas.
I hate Christmas.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, but I
Scrooge.
got kids, so I can't hate Christmas.
Yeah, right.
I have kids too.
I'm old enough. I don't know how old you guys are, but I'm older than dirt. And back in the city, it was the custom. That tree went up Christmas Eve and stayed
That's
up until
good.
this. Right. That's the way it was supposed to be. It's only recently, like in the last 20 years, people started going apeshit and throwing the goddamn tree up the day after Halloween.
Right. I'm with you. Ours is still up, though.
Yeah. Well, we'll leave it up
We
till.
haven't taken it down yet.
Well, we'll leave it up to the Epiphany, and then we'll take it down.
All right. So now Deuce has successfully derailed the conversation once again. So Anthony
Well, they
doesn't
don't
have
want
to
to talk about net
No, we're good.
neutrality. We're all done with net neutrality.
He got it back on track.
See, that's what I'm saying. You know, you can't have a conversation.
See,
because-
this one he got back on. See, John's like a bass. Like if you throw a shiny lure in the water, usually he'll like just chase it.
But I know
But
what's
not
going to.
not this time.
I just wanted to see what everything what everybody's so
this
upset
is
about.
This is a comedy podcast where we just shit on you and don't talk about anything serious. This is a serious subject that doesn't need to be joked about. I don't want to talk about it.
It's serious. It's that serious.
To me,
It's so
to me, it's very
serious
He's
that
dragging you back in.
it does
and you're
nothing.
falling
It does
for
absolutely
damn it.
nothing by revoking those stupid laws because you don't know. You just have you done any setup? Listen, is it on? Did you go to the net neutrality Reddit thread and get all your information?
Oh, you motherfucker! You listen to one podcast and it changed your small mind.
right.
Hey, listen.
Now all of a sudden you are going on this fucking rail
I
about what net neutrality doesn't mean anything because one fucking podcast changed your mind.
hey,
You've spent the last year
you
going
guys.
against your fucking co-host about net neutrality, and you listen to one fucking podcast, and now you're like, well, I don't know why everybody
Hey, I know you guys got to get off of here so you can go over to Everyday Feminism to get your show prep. You got to get off of here so Everyday
fuck?
Feminism to get your show prep because that's all we got to hear about is Everyday Feminism now.
Hey, oh yeah, if you don't like that, don't fucking listen.
Oh, I love it. I love listening to you guys bitch and whine about women. But when I say
Wow,
something
there's
about
the
it,
pot calling the kettle black.
Are you fucking kidding me?
when you guys bitch and cry about women, do I go on there and start saying anything? No, I let you go.
I want you to. Please do.
All right,
Listen.
John.
I really appreciate you guys coming on here, and I wish I could do something. I wish we had something to actually make you guys funny, but I don't think there is anything that can.
They're funny.
Just breaking their balls. You know, Doug calls me up. Phone rings. Doug calls me up and says, "Yeah, I got some ideas."
Why does Doug sound like the Jimmy?
Everybody sounds like the Jimmy. It's the only voice I do.
You're a one-trick pony.
I am a one-trick pony. So we talk a lot, and I do. I enjoy talking with Doug about podcasting and all. Anthony. Okay, let me think about this for a second.
Oh, wow. Here you go.
Don't think. Just say it.
Okay,
Here's your
Anthony-
shovel. Keep digging.
Yeah, Anthony dabbles in podcasting.
Just
he
like me.
Yeah, he kind of, sort of, yeah. He just dips his toe in. He comes in, he sits down, he opens up the mic, he does some stuff, he coughs a little, he laughs a little, and then he shuts the mic off, and then Doug has to do everything else. He was doing the editing.
Oh, no.
Well, I
Anthony
think,
was
I think
doing
Anthony's
editing.
doing a little bit more than
So
that.
awesome.
Jesus Christ.
Anthony was doing the editing, but then he stopped doing that. Now Doug's got to edit now.
Oh,
Is that true?
God, that's great.
Is that what
I think I've edited 2 out of the last 52 shows, but yeah, I am carrying the load on that.
which 2 shows?
No, 3 shows. The last 2, and then one about 6 months ago or something.
So you realize that he's actually pushing you into the editing, so he has nothing. He does nothing now.
Is that true, Doug?
Is that true, Doug?
Absolutely.
So he shows up like a diva, opens up the mic,
So subtle.
coughs a little bit, laughs a little bit, starts a story, can't finish it, and then says, "Okay, gotta go." And then Doug takes over and does everything else.
And I'm still funnier than you. I don't even do anything, and I'm still funnier than you. I don't even try. I can record this whole fucking thing from my bed, half asleep.
I still want to know what that cum sock is on your microphone. What is that? What is that white cum sock that's on your? Is that just something to keep it
Draw.
off the
That's what I'm
screen?
saying, man.
Is that a screen wipe? Is that what that is?
It's a fucking towel because my microphone is smaller than the shock mount that I have.
Okay. All right. Just double checking because I thought to myself, you probably have to fold that thing with a sledgehammer by now. Sorry, guys. Well, listen,
Oh,
Wow. So now you're going to broom him out the door. Now you're going to.
I don't know what else to do with them. You got anything to make them sound interesting? Do you have anything that can help them out to sound interesting anymore? I think we're done with them, aren't we?
Well, I can see this intervention is a complete failure. The three of us weren't able to show you the error of your ways.
What did I
I got
do?
all the information I needed out of it, Deuce.
Yeah. Hey, listen, he was going to get on your shit today too, but then all of a sudden he decided, go ahead, tell him what you were telling me earlier. Doug, Deuce,
Oh, I thought you were done with us.
go ahead.
No, so if you don't want us to be funny on your show, that's fine. It just seems like
I'm
you're
waiting.
trying
I'm begging. Be funny, please. I'm begging you.
Well, I thought they were funny. I
Jesus
laughed.
Christ,
to.
you.
Deuce, I got a question about on your Facebook.
Let's see how funny he is now.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right, I'll try it again. Deuce, I got a question about. It appeared to me that you were bragging about your house and your cars.
Oh,
It
your
came off really pompous.
well, that's because there was another
Backstory.
there's a backstory between John posting stuff about evil corporations.
Oh, it's me again.
Yeah.
It was
Oh,
me. Everything leads back to me.
well, yeah.
If I drop dead, the internet we won't even have anything to talk about anymore because I won't be in there stirring the pot.
John, I forget exactly. It either had something to do with the tax cuts that were about to get passed.
No, I think it was
I forget what it was, but basically John said all corporations are evil.
net neutrality. It was Doug's take on net neutrality.
Was
And
that
I
where
said,
it, and then it,
yeah.
it went,
And I
I
went,
know
yes.
it meandered down a few paths. And then basically that was fresh in my mind, and I had spent the day just getting the cars ready for the winter, and then I just threw it up there and says, ooh, look at all this stuff that evil corporations built.
Right.
And that's just basically just try to
Well, that's because I
poke the
worked.
bear.
I worked for evil corporations. I see what they do.
Mm-hmm.
I
They're
s-
all evil.
I see that.
Everyone.
I don't understand how you constantly talk about that you work for evil corporations,
Mhm.
but you're all of a sudden now for this net neutrality thing, saying it's not going to matter when you can look at
damn it, come on.
you can look at all the countries around the world where they don't have net neutrality, and it certainly does matter. But you're saying it's not going to affect it here. You're going to have, it's going to open up the market, and there'll be 5 different companies that want to come in and put in high-speed internet for every home and everything, and the prices will drop down. You know goddamn well that's not going to happen. Now, I don't want to talk about net neutrality, so move on.
No, I just spout my thing. So anyhow,
Basically, to answer your question in a nutshell, I was trying to get a rise out of John.
and you got.
I didn't know I was going to get a rise out of you, Doug. That was unintentional.
You know what we did? We have taught Anthony to turn away from the microphone when he chokes and coughs.
I have a serious medical condition.
So do I.
He's got asthma.
So do I.
So does Joe.
Right. You don't hear us hacking and coughing into the microphone?
Joe did.
Did he?
Yeah, Joe used to cough.
I don't remember that. Okay.
Selective memory.
All right.
So
So,
it-
is that what you got? Or are you done
Is
with
that it? Is this where the comedy comes in?
I don't know. I don't know what to do with you two.
How was your holidays?
Oh my God! Please no.
John hates Christmas.
Oh,
Oh my God.
yeah.
I think me and John at the exact same time probably about broke our chairs because I leaned back and went, Jesus Christ.
That was their holidays. Oh, yeah, I'm sure that's a yuck fest.
Oh God.
See, I listen.
Doug's holidays, his wife left him. Didn't leave him, but went to her family's house or something. He spent the holidays alone, to be quite honest with you, didn't he? Right, Doug?
Yeah, I'm sure he wants to talk about this.
Yeah,
That's what I was just thinking. What the fuck?
Must be really lonely
Well,
over there.
If you want, we can talk about the time when my girlfriend broke up with me in high school, and I got all sad and carved her name into me.
Really?
That's funny.
That's a real way to lighten the mood, isn't it?
Quite over dramatic, aren't you? I mean, unless you can suck the chrome off a trailer hitch, I don't understand why you would carve your name into her or
Yeah,
her
but
name
yeah.
into you. What was it?
Wow.
I think one of those is assault, you dumb bastard. Yeah, she broke up with me, and I carved my name into her.
I was just checking.
Dumb bastard.
Just checking. All right. Well, listen, you two, have a happy new year.
Yeah, Happy New Year. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, this was fun.
I mean, it didn't do any good to help John.
I don't know why. I didn't think it was going to help me. Like,
Yeah.
what is
Hey,
going to
John,
change my
you're
mind?
divorced, right?
Yes.
Kind of, sort of, yeah.
Kind of, sort of. Do you have a wife?
Kind of, sort of.
You're not divorced. You're still married. I
Kinda
can't believe that she chose not to live with you.
Actually, it was the other way around. I chose not to live with her.
I don't fucking believe that for a second.
I
that
know
because
it's
she was
hard to
always yelling
believe, but
at you
it's
for
the
being an
truth.
asshole?
Listen, it is the truth. I'm a good guy. What can I tell
How
you?
many times? How many
If
times?
you have to say that.
that was on his Twitter profile that he just canceled.
I'm a nice guy.
a good guy.
I'm an all.
I've never said I'm a good guy because you know what? My actions speak for themselves. I'm not. I don't have to say it.
Well, you're
The fact
not.
that he
So
was
there you
blocked
go.
By over 300 people on Twitter probably tells you that he's not a good guy.
I wonder how many people have blocked me. That is, but you never know. You can't tell.
Yeah, well,
Like I'd like to have a tally.
But that's their fault, though, right? It's because they're
Oh, they
weak
have no
or they're
sense of humor,
sensitive.
for Christ's sake. They can't take a joke. Thin-skinned.
That's skin.
You know, you write one article. Listen, you write one article about how your hey nanny nanny stinks so bad that your boyfriend had to tell you about it, and then somebody says something that makes fun of it, and the next thing you know, you're the bad guy. All right.
Did just that. Yeah.
Listen, if we want to get right into it about the Dr. Guntner, to be honest with you, she's just a man hater. To be quite honest with you, she hates
can't
men.
argue with that, but what does that have to do with you being an asshole?
Nothing. But what I'm saying is that how am I supposed to?
Are you really not seeing the relationship to the amount of people that block you and the amount of Twitter accounts you have?
I don't know that for fact.
There's
I
a
have-
causality here. You do realize
I
that.
do have a lot of Twitter accounts.
You have told me time and time again. That's why I have several accounts, because when they block one, I can go right in there and see what they're saying about me with the other.
That's true. That is true.
Okay, that's because and who does things like that?
Sociopaths
Trolls.
and sociopaths.
Sociopathic trolls.
Okay. Matter of fact, I think that's going to be my new. That's going to be my new Twitter name.
Sociopathic
So
troll.
let me write that
okay.
down so I don't lose it. Sociopathic troll. I think that's too many letters.
At Brandex.
So how do I write? How do I get? How many letters are you allowed to use in Twitter?
Hey, why don't you
Sociopathic
let me
troll.
edit your podcast for
Oh,
you,
for
you fucking
Christ.
cunt.
For Christ's sake, you edit a podcast. I've never heard of a podcast edited so poorly.
Wait a minute. You just got done saying that Anthony's trying to trick him in the and now he can't do it.
Listen, I listened to the edit. I swear to God, it's
All right,
it's
so
horrible.
See, that's your fucking problem. So
What?
first off, I was making a joke. When you listen back to this, you'll realize that you missed a joke.
Okay,
Maybe
I'm
it
sorry.
didn't land. Maybe
please.
it didn't land, but your first instinct was to go right back and try
Attack.
to shut somebody down by attacking them personally.
That's true. Maybe,
So
that-
when,
that-
when,
okay.
you, when you attack,
maybe
when
it
you
is a
attack-
character flaw.
Right now, you're blocked.
Did he leave?
No, I didn't leave.
It
Ah,
sounded very convincing.
pussy.
You know that when you attack the editing on our show,
Yes.
that hurts you and helps us because our content is so good and our editing is so bad that you still listen. Even
He's-
if our editing is so bad,
he's
you
got a
still
valid
listen.
point.
That means our content
I like
is
that-
so good.
I like their show. Like this, I get crazy about your content being so good. I like your show. First of all, part of the fact that I like your show is it's such a dumpster fire. It's actually fun to
Oh.
listen to because it's a
What the
dumpster
fuck
fire.
ever? What the fuck
I do.
ever?
I mean, you guys fight back and forth, and don't tell me you don't sit there and
You know
get
what?
so
You
frustrated
can't-
with.
you can't just pay us a compliment. You know,
I did pick with
I
start.
don't know how
Calm
many
down.
times you've told me, as soon as you guys' show comes out, I'm right there to listen to it.
It's the truth.
And that's not because you think it's a dumpster fire. It's because it makes you fucking
didn't
laugh.
say it's a dumpster fire all the time. I said sometimes when it's a dumpster fire, I enjoy that too.
John is the king of left-handed compliments.
I do. As soon as your show comes out, I listen to it. How?
Because it's so shittily edited.
Because I like you too. Believe it or not, I still like you too, clowns.
Why's it got to be clowns?
I don't know why it's got to be clowns, but it's got to be clowns.
See, there's another veiled attack.
See, there you
Yeah,
go.
see, all I've ever said about John's show is, hey, I
It's
enjoy
not
listening
funny.
to it. Other than that,
That's a universal truth, though. I mean, we're not the only ones to say that.
Who else says the show's not funny? You jerk off!
oh,
How dare you?
Did I hit a vein?
Little bit.
All right.
Yeah, that's the one. When you say it's it's not funny, that's the one.
Perfect.
Right?
Perfect.
Exactly.
Keep that one in my back
It
pocket.
just found
buddy.
the chink in your armor.
I gave it to him. That's fine. Now that I gave it to him, I don't care. I honestly don't care what they think. I really don't.
You're
Especially
gonna,
Anthony.
You're going to lose sleep over this tonight.
Especially Anthony.
Tossing and turning.
Where do I start our new show? We'll do this every week. Not every week. Once a month.
I'm okay with talking shit about you every month. As long as you put it out, I'm okay with it, man.
As long as somebody else records it, does the editing, and promotes it, Anthony's fine with being part of
exactly.
it.
See,
Yeah, are you kidding me?
What's not to like?
yeah, he shows up. He's like a diva. He shows up. I'm ready for my close up, and then he just shuts the computer off and then goes on his way, and then comes back and
I don't
complains
see what
about
the
it.
problem is here.
No, I guess you don't.
Sounds like envy.
Yeah, it is a little bit.
That's what it sounds
A little
like.
bit. Little bit.
Little bit of that
Deuce is
green-eyed
over there
monster.
thinking- Deuce is over there thinking, well, isn't that how you do a podcast?
Yeah, I was like, yeah. What's the problem?
Deuce does.
You know what? Me and Deuce could do a podcast. It's already done. It's already done and put out.
Well, first of all, Deuce brings story ideas. Deuce does the cover art. Deuce,
Well, not the last time.
Hey, yeah. Who did the last cover art, John?
I did.
It sounds like Deuce is trying to push everything off on you.
No, because I asked him if it was okay to push it out. He was going to do it that night, and I wanted to push it out that day because I wouldn't have any time to do it later. So I said, "Can I do this real quick?" And he
You're
said, it was
ruining
okay.
it with the fucking definition. Just take the fucking joke and move on. God,
It's
He's
wrong.
he's worried about when we leave, if he's going to be able to recoup his relationship with Deuce. If
That's true.
If Deuce really thinks that he's
very
trying to push him out of the
He's
the cover
very
art
sensitive.
business.
I don't want him. I don't want
Well,
to.
John
upset
did the last two cover art, so I figured I'm retired now.
him. Jesus Christ! Now I'm doing the cover. So it's you're right, Anthony. You and Deuce can do a show now,
And I'll do the cover art.
yeah,
and Anthony will edit it.
right. There you go.
Every show, every cover art for every episode is just going to be 2 pictures of Corvettes.
Cool.
There you go.
I'm there.
That works.
The same two, or can I rotate them?
Yeah, they're all red.
However you- Hey, you're the art director of this piece of shit. You do it however you want.
You're the-
Exactly.
You get to be the art director.
Except for the last two art.
Okay. All right, gentlemen.
Wrong font.
When is your next show coming out?
Sunday.
Sunday.
Oh, it's going to be out Sunday. Have you
Yeah.
recorded it yet?
Do you listen?
No,
So
we'll
listen.
record it.
We're gonna record it tomorrow morning.
Okay. Can't wait to hear this.
Why?
Never
We're
mind.
not- we're not going to reference you at all.
Okay.
Yeah, we got all. We
So
got
our show's funny.
You keep telling yourself that. Go ahead.
I will.
All right. You know something? Our show's funny. You know why? Because we'll tell you it is. All right. So listen, guys. Thanks so much for coming on. Really appreciate you picking up the show. You know, because we had nothing this week. Very, very slow Christmas week news stories and stuff like that. So
Well, I was
Yeah.
putting stuff in there, and he said, "Oh, Doug and Anthony are coming." Well, no point in me at putting anything in here because I know we're not going to get to it. So fuck it.
So you know what? You know what you should do, John. Maybe it's not us. That's fine. I understand.
Please,
If you
Doug,
don't
tell
want-
me.
You don't want us on. Well, fuck you then.
I just said, please tell me. Tell me what you want. I'm all ears. Go ahead. Jeez, little sensitive.
Fucking troll motherfucker.
Look, when you get done, just don't carve my name into your arm or something, okay?
You ain't got to worry about that, sister.
Okay, just checking. All right, should I do?
Oh, I was just gonna say you should bring people on with open arms and let them sit in with you and just go through the show. You know, discuss whatever you guys are discussing instead of bringing people on and attacking their show.
Okay, I can do that.
We take a lot of pride in the product that we put out.
Sorry.
I didn't even have to say a word. I did
right,
not
well,
have to say a word. Okay, well, listen, guys, I do love your show, and you are semi-funny. And Doug's funnier than Anthony. And to be honest with you,
So
come on,
now
let's
it's
be,
a race.
let's be honest with you. In 6 months, Anthony won't even be part of the show. Doug will find somebody else, and that'll be the end of it.
Yeah, that gives me a warm, fuzzy feeling.
Why? Does that have anything to do with, what does that have to do between the relationship that we have?
Yeah, well, if you're thinking that,
I
yeah.
didn't say anything about you. Stop making it all about
Your
you.
time limit is 4 months.
Yeah, I wonder what the expiration date on my time on the shelf is.
It's fine. As long as you,
fine. Don't
as
worry
long as you
about
want to be
it.
in that seat, you'll be in that seat. We'll talk about this later. All right, guys.
No, do it now.
Yeah, I want to hear.
All right, if you want to hear about it, to be quite honest with you, as I was sitting down and planning
All right,
for the
I'll
next
do it
year's
later.
show, I didn't think you wanted to listen, you jerk off. So anyhow,
Hey, John, in all seriousness, thank you for all the help that you've given us on our show as far as the sound quality.
no, I appreciate, and I appreciate you with the graphics and stuff like that. You know, it's nice. What's nice about podcasting is that we can come on here, break each other's balls, you know, yell at each other, and then still be friends. Well,
Oh,
Me
I'm
and
never
Doug.
talking to you again.
You'll call me tomorrow. Who you talking? Who you kidding?
Everything will be done via text.
John,
I'll be talking
John,
to you tonight. What are you talking about?
Right.
If I could tell you one thing, every time I listen to your show, I've listened to your show quite a few times. I really get into your show up until the part where you start talking the news articles and that kind of stuff. If you guys would just bullshit, that's funny. Sometimes you guys come up with some good shit,
Sometimes.
just bullshitting.
Okay.
But then you guys read the stories and it doesn't interest me. That's just my personal opinion.
All right.
And I really like your show right up until the part where the guy from Family Guy says, "All right, guys, it's podcast time." And then everything after that is just downhill bullshit.
Okay. All right.
See you, John.
Bye.
See you guys later. Take care.
All right. That's enough of them. All right. They're gone.
I'll show you.
I do. I love those guys. I really do. It's fun. And I don't get a chance to talk to Anthony.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah. And again, like I said, I pick on Anthony a lot because I don't really talk to him that much. But I do. I think he's a good, and I like the show. And it's a lot better than when I first listened to it. I mean, all around, a lot of stuff is a lot better than when I first listened to it. Not that it was bad, but it was, they're coming into their own. They don't, again, and you know how long it takes to get a groove. And, they didn't really have any kind of training or anything like that. They started. And,
Like us.
And God bless them. Well, I had training.
Oh, yeah, you did.
I've had training.
I'm still learning.
Right. But I'm saying is, they pressed record and they came out with a message and, we started talking and helping. And Doug helps me too. Doug's a huge help with social media, although I don't do enough of it, but he's a huge help with that. So who knows? And that's what I love about podcasting is
Doug's a force of nature on Twitter.
He is amazing. He does some amazing things.
You can't swing a dead cat and not see a Twitter feed from
well,
Doug.
not only that, but then, everybody else is retweeting his stuff too. So I do like that. Hoy, I'm exhausted.
Yeah, I guess you are. I guess that was fun. Tampon causes loss of leg, maybe 2.
What the fuck?
You didn't see that?
How do you know?
Now, see, this is why I say the things. I throw shit in here and you don't even look at it.
Oh my God, look at those feet.
Her tootsies.
Woof.
Yeah.
All right, since you know more about this than I do, go ahead. Oh, Lord.
I hope the model who lost leg from tampon-induced toxic shock could also lose the other. Remember back in the day in the 70s, toxic shock syndrome was a big deal. It was always in the news.
Because they had that pear-shaped tampon.
Yeah, and it was something that was a flawed design or something. I thought they had that licked.
Licked.
Yeah, he said licked. 5 years ago, at age 24, model Lauren Wasser nearly died from toxic shock after using a tampon, which resulted in her losing her right leg and part of her left foot. Now she may lose her entire left leg as well. Had I known toxic shock was real, and had I seen someone that had either lost limbs or spoke about it publicly, I would never have used tampons, Wasser told People.
Oh, wait a minute. How did she know? What did they think that was making it up? Was it like the Bigfoot?
I think what she's referring to is that it's really not, they don't really talk about it, and like I said at the beginning, I thought they had licked the problem, but evidently they hadn't.
Licked. Sorry. Go ahead.
And I think that's what she means. I mean, I don't think she doubted the existence of it. It's just you just don't hear about it. Like you always hear about breast cancer. You always hear about Alzheimer's disease. I think that's what she means. It wasn't in the spotlight as much as those other, syndromes. Toxic shock syndrome is a life-threatening complication caused by toxins from the bacteria. It's a staph infection, or staph, which is found in many women's bodies. TSS is linked primarily to menstruating women, especially those who use super absorbent tampons, and made headlines in the 70s and 80s for causing the death of several young women. I remember all that. I'd kind of forgotten about it until I read this article.
Well, what are they supposed to do? Okay, so...
Well, you have maxi pads. That's another alternative. Right. Tampons was like...
But, I mean, women are still using tampons all the time.
Well, yeah, but...
There's a thing out now. Don't even ask me why I know all this stuff. I know way more about women's menstruation.
Well, you edited that podcast.
I edited a podcast about this.
What was their thoughts on net neutrality?
Oh, I have no idea, but I'll tell you what they think about the pill and about tampons and menstruation and stuff like this.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things is when they were talking about tampons is that they try to get a cotton that's not sprayed with pesticide. Now think about this.
Organic.
Yeah, like an
You want
organic cotton. Right. Because now I don't know what these other tampons are using, but just imagine they just go get regular old cotton that they're spraying with pesticides and stuff like that. Then they're taking all this cotton and they're winding it up. And the next thing you know, you shove it up your hoo-ha. And now all those toxins and everything that were on the cotton are now up your hoo-ha. So that can't be good.
No, that's probably where a lot of it
You don't hear
comes from.
you don't hear Dr. Guntner talking about that, do you?
Well, I don't listen to her. But no, I guess not.
You can't listen to her. She's too busy blocking me.
The model, who now appears on runways and ad campaigns with her gold prosthetic leg, is still struggling with the damage left behind from TSS. At the time of the initial incident in 2012, Wasser told Vice that doctors wanted to amputate both legs, but she fought to keep the left one. Now, however, she faces the possibility of becoming a double amputee. I'm in excruciating pain every day, she told the Post. Wasser has made it her mission to warn other women about the risk associated with using tampons, as well as advocates for more transparency regarding feminine hygiene products. I think this is my purpose, and I wouldn't change it for the world, she recently told the Washington Post. Besides being a public advocate, she speaks about the disease. I'm assuming like she probably did everything right, but this disease is out there. I mean, like for whatever reason, unfortunately, she got it.
I'm looking at this picture of her foot, and I mean, did it come on that fast?
Oh, gangrene, yeah.
I mean, it's amazing how.
My Uncle Carmen, he had his he had heart issues,
right? And
they wound shortly before he died. They amputated his leg from above the knee, which is really bad.
Okay.
Because when they give you a prosthetic, now you have to learn to manipulate an artificial knee joint. If you're amputated below the knee, it's a little bit easier.
Can't they just give you like a peg and a parrot on your shoulder?
Well, how are you going to drive? Now you got a thing sticking. Exactly.
You can't drive.
Right. You got your legs sticking straight out and everything.
That's true.
So
yeah, lean into it.
It came on so fast.
Yeah.
We saw him like, hey, what's up? And like less than a week later, we go to see him in the hospital, and his foot is black like this picture.
Damn.
It's just like, and it was running up his leg, and they had to take it. They took it above the knee.
Wow. She's very attractive.
Yeah. I mean, you can see why she's a model.
Absolutely. Even with the one leg.
24 years old.
That's a sin.
Just like she'll probably live to, everyone lives pretty long nowadays.
I don't know. What if they got to take the next one? Like if she does, if
they don't take it, she will die.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If she keeps messing around and then all that stuff gets pulled back up into her body, next thing you know, she'll have it throughout her whole body, and that'll be into her.
Right.
Yikes.
You wind up having heart issues
But see, now when we were talking about being able to load your consciousness into a robot, there you go.
I'd check out.
Perfect example right there.
Yeah, but I would check out.
I know you would.
Got to hold on to that humanity.
Did you see the thing on the UFOs?
No.
There is a video out where these fighter jets are flying, and they've got this UFO.
Oh, I saw that. Is that what that was?
Yeah.
I just thought it was a comet because we passed through every year we pass through like a comet.
Right. But he said,
meteorite
shower. This thing was changing directions and moving, and they were chasing it, a couple fighter pilots, and there was more of them up there.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy's got it locked on. He's locked on, and he's, videoing it or recording it. And like nobody's saying a word about this. I mean, wouldn't you think this would be like the biggest story?
Yeah, it's probably.
No. Why am I missing here? Why is that not a big story?
Because when the SR-71 Blackbird was being developed by the Air Force, they didn't tell other branches of the military that they were developing this.
So you don't think that
It's probably just us.
You think it's us?
Yeah, testing something or.
You don't think it's an alien life force?
No.
You don't believe in aliens?
I believe in aliens. I just don't believe that's what it is.
You don't believe that they're here among us or
because there's so many amateur astronomers that discover comets, discover meteorites, and you would have heard it from someone else.
Yeah, you would think.
Think about it. Who would have the power to clamp down on something like that? The government. So I would go that it's probably us developing something.
And again, I'm not 100% sure if they could pull everything off the web or not.
No, it'll stay on the web. They just won't talk about it.
I mean, it's amazing because I've seen some, and again, you don't know if it's CGI or you don't know, but you see some things where it looks like there's a.
Well, that could be it too. It could be a hoax.
It could be a hoax.
Hoax video.
Yeah, I guess until one of them lands and that,
Yeah.
comes out and
Yeah, if it's like,
gives us a
the day the
nana.
earth stood still,
Right, until one of them lands down here and comes out and starts talking to us, and
Yeah, like Gort.
or Mork from work, or something like that. But I mean, to me, that's amazing. I mean, that.
I saw that, but I just figured it was like from meteorites. And so I don't
Well,
pay
the
any
government
mind to
had. It was funny. The government had funding for a agency that was looking into alien life forms, UFOs, and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And they said that, it was up until they stopped at 2012. When do you know of the government ever shutting down an
that. Well,
agency?
probably what they did is they funded it until that time. That's usually what it is. And when there's no funding, then
I guess.
then the program ends.
I don't know. I've never seen the
That's
government.
how we
end a
got out of
program.
Vietnam.
Okay.
The Democrats used Watergate as an excuse to defund the bombing of Cambodia and North Vietnam. And then, well, there's no money. We're out of here.
Yeah, it blows my mind. I just can't believe that, they had that whole video. I'm waiting for everything to explode and nobody said anything. I mean, the other day, Trump tweeted out about global warming and the internet lost its fucking
Yeah,
mind.
he does know how to play them.
My God, he is something else. And then,
But what he tweeted is shit that I would always put on Facebook
Right.
because it's like today. It was 12 degrees this morning. What is today? The 29th?
Yeah.
It's December the 29th. This morning when I left to go to work, it was 12 degrees. But guess what? That's called winter.
Yes.
It happens, So what does everyone do? They take a picture of their thermometer in their car and post it on Facebook, and everyone makes a joke about global warming. Or the opposite in the summer. It's 100 degrees today, but it's fucking August. It's supposed to be hot. It's just weather. So he just did what everyone else does, but because he's the president, they all went nuts.
and then the Feckless Wonder came on Twitter today and he made like 4 or 5 posts, like very positive posts, people helping people, how the Eagles defensive lineman, Chris Long, had donated his whole salary to, causes and stuff like that.
Not like Trump's doing.
I don't know if Trump's doing that.
That was a campaign price. He's donating he's not taking 1 penny as president. He's donating it all to
Okay.
charities.
All right. So but not one mention of that, right?
No, well, they buried that. Well, they did mention, apparently the president does not get paid weekly like we do.
What do they get paid monthly?
They get paid quarterly.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so when his first quarterly check came in, whenever that was in April or May or whatever, he donated it to somebody. I don't know who, but he
Ku Klux
donated.
Klan?
He donated it all. No, why am I?
Just kidding. The alt-right. I'm just kidding.
No, you're not.
So,
Much like Kathy Griffin, you're going to hide behind it's a joke, but you're serious.
yeah, I do. But I think that he would do something like that.
Yeah,
That is
she do.
ridiculous.
You're
She's
a hope.
another one where she comes out and is like, "Oh my God, I
She's
can't
still
get rid of it."
crazy.
Do you see her haircut now? She shaved all her hair off.
I think she was always like that. I think she's been wearing
Wigs?
weaves. Yeah,
And
wigs and
wigs?
weaves over the past few years.
Scary
Yeah,
looking
because she had a very consistent looking
hair.
like it
And it
never
was-
changed.
Oh.
She never seemed to. It never appeared to me that she ever had a bad hair day.
She had that curly, I don't
Poodle
know.
thing.
Yeah, poodle
And then
thing.
she had the like the Wilma Flintstone thing. Sometime
I can't remember.
it was like a bun in the bell. It was a bone through it, like Wilma had. You never noticed that.
I guess I didn't.
Yeah, now you'll never unsee it.
I guess.
But recently she just said she can't go on tour in this country because a Trump supporter will shoot her.
That's ridiculous.
It was just the
Okay,
last
so
couple of days.
Let me ask you this. I mean, again, the country's so divided in all this.
Mhm.
So you would think that there's just as many liberals out there as there are conservatives. Would you say there's more liberals or less liberals than conservatives? I'm asking a question. I have no idea.
Well,
in your opinion.
it depends. See, it depends on how far out liberal you want to be. I mean, are you like crazy Bernie Sanders liberal?
Liberal enough where you would think that Kathy Griffin's funny.
Generally, it's a pretty divided country. It's almost a 50-50 split. And that's why they always have problems with polls, because whenever CNN or NBC does a poll, they oversample the Democrats. Like I just saw there was another poll that they it might have been Trump's approval rating or something. Oh, I know what it was. It was the tax cut.
Right.
Okay. And they said, most Americans don't feel comfortable about this. But then when you look at the data, because it's available, I'm just going to pull numbers out of a hat to illustrate it. But it was quite telling. It was like out of the 100% pie, like 55 to 60% were Democrats. And then like 28% were Republican conservatives and the rest were just independents. So, I mean, that's why a lot of times like they call it fake news. Now it's called fake news, but Rush Limbaugh had been calling it like the drive-by media because it's not news. They make the news.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
Back in the day, it's like, hey, a bus crashed off the Walt Whitman Bridge and killed everyone. That was news.
Right.
Now what they do is they go out there and they ask loaded questions, and then they make that the news.
I believe that.
That's how it is. And the easily led fall for it all the time.
I think that's why Anthony fell for that whole net neutrality thing and why gets so upset when they are repealing it, because he just, he takes his news from, the people that slam.
Doug seems like he's in favor of net neutrality also, but, and everyone's got their opinion. And I don't know what countries he's referencing in that last.
Who knows what he's talking about?
Well, no, in that last, when we had that last discussion, he said in other countries where they did put, but see, you can't, that's, you're comparing apples with oranges because you got to look at the culture of those countries and what kind of government they have. Do those countries have a First Amendment? I don't know. I haven't seen the data, but he looked at the data and I'm sure we'll hear from him after they hear this podcast.
Oh, I'm sure.
So, but I mean, and I respect that. If someone builds me a compelling case, I'll debate with anybody.
Right.
But if it just resorts to ad hominem attacks and constant non sequiturs and whatabouts, and you're just like,
I hear you. But for me, I haven't seen one thing change. You would think that after all this fight, and now they've revoked those.
I don't think they ever put them in place.
Right. So I'm just saying, nothing's changed.
They chartered them, and they wanted to, but then when Hillary lost the election, thank Christ. They just said, we don't need to put that in anymore.
I know, it's amazing. And again, I go, and for me, when we talk about this stuff, like I say, net neutrality, everybody's like, oh, I can't talk about it. I'm like, what's so horrible about this? You can't talk about it.
I can understand why, not that they didn't want to talk about it, but it's a done deal now.
Right. Well, I just wanted to
the next time you talk about it is in 2020. Let's say Trump loses the election and the incoming Democrat comes in and says that he wants to put that back in place, then people will be talking about it again.
Right.
What you got to hope is if that does happen in between now and 3 years from now,
right,
that people will see with their own eyes.
It was no big deal.
That nothing happened. Unfortunately, though, see, that's what, when the press in this country is so invested in. Well, think about this. I mean, here you have a free press that touts the First Amendment, and they're behind this. So what is that? What's in it for them?
Well,
it's all about control. They'll get access because they'll start screaming about the First Amendment, and they cover it up with Orwellian doublespeak like net neutrality, because who could possibly be against neutrality? I say it all the time. It's just like, let's not call it pro-ripping the uterus open and taking the baby out. Let's call it pro-choice, because who could possibly be against choice?
Exactly.
So that's how they do it.
Right. Exactly.
Makes it sound reasonable. It's warm. It's fuzzy. You can go out and buy a puppy afterwards. So
let's clean up and go get a puppy.
Yeah. So it's just
there you go.
That's how they do it.
Right. Exactly. All right. Have we had enough? Holy cow.
What time is it?
It's
early. Anything else on your mind?
I don't know.
Well, you kept asking me questions. So.
Well, my thing, like I said,
I thought it was the round table with Deuce tonight. I don't know.
Well, I was interested in your opinion, to be quite honest with you. I was, I wanted to see what you thought. Your opinion on the news of the day. I would say. Right. Exactly.
News on whatever.
I have to tell you one thing. Since I got my truck now, the new truck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw. Congrats with that.
I love the new truck.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's, I go out in that thing and I hate wearing a coat. I hate that constriction of a coat.
Mm-hmm.
And I just go out there, start that thing up, and in 2 minutes, it's toasty warm in the truck.
You got a remote start?
No. I just go out and start it. And
I foresee you shitting under the deck again. You better be careful.
Well, how did that happen? How did we make that jump?
Because you locked yourself out of the fucking truck. the old truck.
It's got the, whatchamacallit this time. I have
a fob.
Yeah, a fob. So you can't lock yourself out.
Unless the keys are attached to said fob and you leave it in the ignition and then you walk.
I guess there is a way. No, I can't because I tried to lock myself in.
Yeah,
This is how
you
dumb
think
I am.
that.
I say what happened was I had the keys in the ignition, right?
Mhm.
So I get out, I hit the lock button, and the lock goes down, goes boop, boop, and it comes back up again. I'm like, what the hell's wrong with this truck? I'm
Oh,
like,
it's reading that the fob's still in the car.
it's reading that it's still in the car. It's like, hey, jackass,
Yeah.
stop trying to lock yourself out of the
But
car.
sometimes that fails. Did you ever go to a car wash?
Oh no, what?
Yeah, did you ever go to a car wash?
Yes, I've happened to go through a car.
Well,
wash.
let me. That was a stupid question.
Okay.
Did you ever go to the type of car wash where you don't sit in the car, but they drag your car through it?
Yes.
Okay,
It's
and
the
your
only one I
key.
go to.
All right. A lot of the car washes had instances where the cars detect the motion going through,
Yes.
and the doors lock.
Oh no.
Yeah, and now they can't get, and now all the cars are coming behind them on the chain, and they got to shut shit down. So a lot of times, what they'll do is they'll make you. That's why that sign is up there. Remove the fob from the keys. That's what that's all about.
Okay.
So as long as you don't, there's no motion out there, you'll probably be okay and won't have to shit under the deck. So, do your daughters know that?
Yes, they do.
Do they hang their head in shame?
Of course they do. Look at me.
Shitting under the deck. Any New
Jeez.
Year's resolutions? Like
Oh.
not to troll people?
That would be a good one, but it's not. That's not one
That
of
ain't
them.
happening.
Oh, actually, to be honest with you, yeah, I want to do some things with this show,
Mhm.
do more segments.
Aren't resolutions supposed to be the betterment and self-improvement of oneself?
Well, if the show gets better, wouldn't that make me better? Just saying.
You go.
Okay, so
No, I'm just curious because I don't make them. I made one resolution in my life, never broke it, and that was to never make a New Year's resolution. That was like in the 5th grade.
okay, so I have done something lately where, and this when I say we, this show and Bad Cop, well, actually, me and Dave, I think we're doing a weight off.
I'll put my money on Dave.
I would put my money on Dave.
I've
too.
seen you crumble.
Right. So
Is there money involved?
there has to be
Because
money
I'll
involved.
walk down those stairs with fucking Oreos pizzas every fucking week. Here you go, big boy.
I'd rather have money involved than in some kind of
Yeah, me
humiliation.
too.
You know, like I don't know, I have to take a picture of my pants down or something like that. I don't want to do that.
No one wants to
No
see
one
that
wants to
either.
see that.
Here's John shitting under his deck.
I came up with it's called intermittent fasting. It's nothing that's new.
Yeah.
And basically what you do is you eat 2 meals within 4 hours and that's it.
That's all I do.
Okay. So, that works.
They
And
laugh
then-
at me at work and they say, I can't believe this. I says, I bring just enough food to keep from dying. That's it. I mean,
There you go.
There's guys that I work with. I mean, some of them are weightlifters. I get that.
Right.
So they got to maintain that mass and everything. A lot of them are just eating out of boredom.
Sure.
That's what it is.
Absolutely.
Because you're just bored. So, I mean, I go to work with like that thermos of coffee,
Right. And just enough food not to.
a little bowl of those, Cheerios, like you get it at the supermarket, you pour milk in it and
Right.
eat that, and a sandwich. That's it.
That's it.
I
All
eat,
day
I
long.
eat breakfast at home. I
Okay.
bring that to work, and then I eat a light meal at home. That's,
Right. So,
of course, that went out the window in California.
well, that's a whole different station. So it's funny because, how everybody markets to you now is completely different.
Mhm.
So there's this Dr. Berg. You're
going to pick a fight with her
No,
or him.
it's a guy. Really nice guy. And all of a sudden I was like going through Facebook and I saw something and it says, were you trying to lose weight? You having a problem losing weight, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, yes, I am. So I clicked on and he had like 4 videos and I watched the videos. I'm like, hey, that sounds, the science sounds good. Everything sounds good. So I started paying attention to what he does. He has a ton of videos on Facebook and everything. So I started that and I'm down 20 pounds in the past.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. You can't tell,
And
but I'm down 20 pounds.
yeah, but I mean, considering that you just came through Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas, where everywhere you go, people are just stuffing food in your face. Like, here, I just baked these cookies.
Right.
It's like Diane, she baked the gross of cookies.
Can you do me a favor and stop putting the antipasta pictures on Facebook? My God, they look so good.
Diane's making bacon wrapped dates as we speak.
Oh, they sound good.
Yeah, they're real good.
But so for me, and to be honest with you, it's not a big issue on what to eat or anything.
It's to cut back.
My biggest problem is I'm a guy. I live alone. I hate to cook.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So most of my food comes from a drive-through window. So what I just said was,
Yeah, but that's an excuse.
of course it is.
It is. Well, because when I remember, because here's why I'm gonna call bullshit on that.
Oh, it's total bullshit. Go ahead.
When I remember my condo in Cherry Hill,
Yes.
the 1 bedroom. All right.
Yes.
When Diane and I got married, Diane was appalled that the only thing in that house was mayonnaise, bread, milk, Captain Crunch, and ramen noodles, and that was it.
So wait a minute. What's the bullshit?
Because I was a guy too, but I didn't go to fast food restaurants and just, order stuff.
So what did you do?
I just
Didn't eat?
That's what I lived on.
Repeat that again. Mayonnaise.
Well, white bread.
Okay.
Okay.
Mayonnaise.
Tuna fish.
Oh, tuna fish.
Cereal.
Cereal.
Ramen noodles.
Okay.
And beer. The staples.
Okay.
It's like,
So you made tuna fish. You ate tuna fish sandwiches.
basically, yeah.
Ramen noodles.
Now, Kaminsky's was down the street. And what did we used to hang out there like 2 times a week, maybe?
Right.
Okay.
That's true. Okay.
So,
Right. Yeah, it is bullshit.
yeah.
I mean, to a
Yeah.
certain extent, because I have everything. Food goes bad in that refrigerator upstairs because I don't make
Well,
it.
it is, I will agree, it is hard to cook for just one person.
Yeah, but I mean, still, I'm doing it now.
Mhm.
It's not a big deal.
Mhm.
I have a trough. When I mean a trough, I have a bowl. It's the size of a bowl.
That didn't sound too good when you come out, you say you have a trough. You goes like, what, you're like a pig? You're slopping yourself? You're just
Pretty
like,
much.
wow.
So what you do is I just have the lettuce things, and I put a ton of broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cauliflower, all that in there. You're supposed to eat a ton of vegetables, and I put some protein in there, and then you can't use ranch dressing and all that other stuff.
Well, that's where all the calories are.
Exactly. So all I do is use vinegar and oil, olive oil, and then that's it.
That's
and then,
the best bet.
Right. And then the breakfast is just like 4 eggs and, spinach and mushrooms and
The
all that
tough
kind of
thing
stuff,
to
and
do,
cheese.
as you're, and I know you know this because you had the other weight loss podcast that you used to do, is sugar. It's in everything. You think, I'm eating Cheerios because, Captain Crunch is my favorite cereal along with Frosted Flakes. I'll knock a box of Cocoa Pebbles off and not even bat an eye. But sugar is like in everything. And even if you look at the sugar content on so-called good for you cereals like Cheerios or Rice Krispies, there's a ton of sugar and
Sure.
sodium.
Yep. Absolutely.
That shit'll put it on you.
Well, now in Australia, they're having a war on sugar because of the obesity that's going on. And they try to, again, the people that are pushing sugar and all these foods, they want you to think that it's fat and, it's bothering you. You can eat as much
Fat won't make you fat.
Fat won't make you fat.
Right. Sugar will.
Carbs and sugar will make you fat.
Because your body's that's easier to, let's go for that.
Right. So I'm gearing up for my battle with Dave.
How much are you looking to lose? Well, wait, let me ask you this. How much do you need to lose to be able to get that bypass surgery?
I can't, if we're going to do this bet, I can't get the bypass surgery. That wouldn't be fair.
No. I'm just saying as a health aspect. Forget the bet.
40 pounds.
Okay. That's what I want to know.
Yeah. 40 pounds. I could get the surgery. But do I want the surgery? Do I want them in there cutting me apart?
Do you want your knees to blow out on you and tumble down the steps and hit your head and die in a bloody pool that Deuce comes on a Friday to do the podcast? And I'm going to need like a Derek to get your body up out of the steps.
It'll happen. This is what, because you know me, right? This is my luck.
Or I could do Weekend at Bernie's. You just put copper pennies over your eyes.
So here's my luck. This is what'll happen. I'll get the weight loss surgery. I'll lose all this weight. I'll lose all this weight. I'll look good. I'll do all this stuff.
You'll be like an Adonis.
Right. And the next, let's please. I'll look like a flying fucking squirrel, to be quite honest with you. All right. And then what'll happen is I'll fucking have a stroke and die. It's like, oh, look, he looks good. Next thing you know, and then you'll find.
Yeah, but you won't be buried in a piano case.
I'm not going to be buried in a piano
Well,
case.
because
now.
I would assume I'm going to be your pallbearer.
No.
I don't know. Like,
There's no Paul Bauer. No.
got to bring a front end loader in.
That's funny because it's true. But,
All right, you 30 guys, let's go.
no.
Chop those trees. We're going to roll them along the logs.
First of all,
We're going to show you how they built the pyramids.
I'm going to have, listen, I've already got plans. I'm going to be cremated. And then
Wow, what a pyre that's going to be.
he's still on fire.
We're just going to burn the house down around them.
It's been a week. I know.
What's going on over there? Well, the coroner declared him dead. They're just going to burn the house down around him. He wanted to be cremated. It's like a Viking funeral.
Right. And they're going to take my ashes and spread them, I don't know, on the highway or something. I don't know what to do with them. You know, I have a friend whose daughter passed away.
Oh, wow. That's horrible.
Yeah, it was horrible. And,
How old was she? She must have been really young.
Yeah, she was young. It was, you know, it was over drugs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And very crazy sadness. And then this past year, she just, you know, they took the ashes and then, they, you know, she wanted to be sprinkle them into the ocean.
Right.
So she goes to talking to her about it. She says she's going to sprinkle them into the ocean, but she's like, yeah, we tried to chuck her into the ocean. I'm like, chuck her into the ocean? I said,
what, the vase and everything?
Yeah, so I was going to think, but they have these things now where they're like biodegradable cardboard or something.
Okay.
That look like, you know, you can get them all different things. And then you put the ashes in there and then you
right. Launch it
into the ocean.
Right.
And then they launched it into the ocean. And then what happened was you think it was going to sink right away, but it didn't. It was floating. They're like, oh my God, she's going to come back up on the beach. And, you know, they're like, but then finally it did.
Eventually it gets waterlogged, I imagine.
And it goes, it sank, and then she's out in the ocean. And one of the things which was kind of cool was I said, well, why that? You know, and she says, well, because in the ocean you're fluid. You know, you can go anywhere instead of being like just somewhere, like under a tree or. Okay. I thought that was kind of cool.
My grandfather had an adversarial relationship with his sister-in-law.
Okay.
And, they used to like, because my grandfather was a very strong-willed individual, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
And they were somehow when you get older, that seems to be the main topic of like every gathering. They start talking about their funeral plans. I don't know if you ever noticed that with older, for some reason.
Starting to notice it now.
Yeah, well, yeah, you are. You know, I intend to live forever myself.
I know you do.
But I'm in for a big disappointment, I know. But anyway, she was saying that she wanted to be cremated. And my grandfather said to her, oh, wow, you're going to be cremated, huh? I says, yeah, because I says, wow, can we have your ashes? And like, she was like touched. Like she was like, she felt like this overwhelming love, you know, like, oh, really? You would do that? He says, yeah, I'll put them in the litter box for the cats, you know. She lost her mind and everything. One time, this is a visual, my grandfather was saying something to my grandmother and, you know, kidding around or joking, poking, just like Genghis did with my mother and like I did with Diane. And she didn't like it. And she was like, honestly, I don't know why you married that man. And then he had his glasses on like this and he was, why? Did you want to marry me? She like shook her hand. She got like red in the face. She was like all like flustered.
As you get older, things change. Your priorities change. Mm-hmm. With me right now, there's things that I want to do now. And I think that other things that like people are always trying to push you into that don't mean anything to me anymore. And I'm like, I'm okay. I'm good with that.
Yeah, but I mean, wouldn't you like to like get smaller?
Oh, no. That part of it. Yes. Yeah. Of course I would.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All that stuff would be fantastic. Like I said, you know, the biggest problem with me was the injuries to the knees and the back and not being able to do anything.
Right.
I mean, you were with me back when we used to hike in the ravine and do all that kind of stuff.
Play racquetball
and all football.
Chase beagles. Well, you chased the beagles because you used to train them and all.
Yeah, I mean, I was very, very active. And then you get that injury, and then you can't do that stuff anymore. And then all of a sudden, one thing you still can do is you can still eat. I do not want to do the Brand X podcast, you know, after a stroke.
I like Dick Clark.
Yeah, I don't want to be Dick Clark.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I do not want to be Dick Clark.
That's not a good look.
That'll be the end of the show. Welcome to the planet.
You make it sound like John Merrick. It's like the Elephant Man.
I
am not an animal. I am a podcaster.
This is New Year's Eve. Once again in New York City. How the lights in heaven. And one of the biggest arguments I ever got with my ex-wife was.
Wait a minute.
Go ahead.
Like Doug said, wait a minute.
Wait. I'm not finishing.
Go ahead.
So what happened was Dick Clark was trying to announce after the stroke, he was trying to announce that the countdown. Mm-hmm. And he's doing like 10, 9, 12, 7.
No.
Oh, he did. He absolutely did.
Is there tape of that?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I'll have to double check, but I heard it. Mm-hmm. And I looked at her and
I thought it was going to be like every number sounded like, nyeh.
No, but so then I went on Facebook and I wrote, bottle of champagne, $25, snacks, $50, listening to Dick Clark count backwards from 10 to 0, priceless. Whew. Man, she let me have it. She's like, my father died of a stroke. I said, yeah, but he wasn't counting backwards on TV. Mm-hmm. What do you want from me?
See, now I think we can see where your problem is here. You have no empathy.
I was going for a joke.
Yeah, but you have to have empathy.
It's overrated. You're right. I have none.
Yeah.
I have no empathy. If I think something's funny, I will say it.
Yeah. Well, sometimes if something's funny
to other people,
you don't have to say it. Like, I mean, I'm not going to lie. Like, did you ever watch someone walk into with glass door?
Yes.
It's hysterical.
Absolutely.
Even if they break their nose and blood jets out of their nose, it's still kind of funny. But
sure.
I didn't sit there and go, bah!
How do you not laugh?
Well,
how do you not laugh?
It was very difficult.
I was going to say, you got to turn around.
Oh,
you have to leave.
Yeah.
You have to go back and say, oh, by the way, so-and-so just broke his nose on the door right there.
Oh, it was a total stranger.
Oh.
If it was someone, if it was someone I knew. Then
if it was a total stranger, why didn't you just point and laugh?
I can't do that. I have empathy.
Oh. What's that again? All right, let's wrap this shit up. That's enough for one day. Let's do some podcast shout-outs.
Okay. If you are looking for some other great independent podcasts and the podcasters that do them to check out, we highly recommend these podcasts and the great work that they do. The Evening Radio Podcast with Jason and Mindy, part of the Hush Your Face Network.
The Bad Cop Show with Jerry and Dave.
The Hunan Show with Rocky, BB, Drew, and Josh, also part of the Hush Your Face Network.
Two guys named Doug and Anthony who do the Who's Right podcast, part of the Hush Your Face Network, I think. I don't know if they're still on it or not. I don't know.
Yeah, I think they are.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure they are. Unwritable Rant with Juliet Miranda. You can hear Juliet's every adventure every Sunday. She drops her show, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Bro Ron's podcast, Big D and Little R, part of the Hush Your Face Network.
Ped Miller with Matt Miller and Viva La Pedros, part of the Hush Your Face Network.
Hardly Awkward with Sean Fuller, also part of the Hush Your Face Network.
Rob and Slim with Sleepy Lucas and Santa Slambo.
Santa
Slambo.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Part of the Hush Your Face Network.
Sounds like I missed something. The Toe on the Trigger podcast with Daniel Repholtz, Mike, and C3K, which is Courtney 3000.
The Story Behind with Emily Prokop.
That's it? No big build-up? No.
I haven't. She hasn't put a show out. What do you want from me?
I've been waiting 3 weeks to do that to you. Everyone has a podcast with Adam and Brian.
It's always tit for tat with you, isn't it?
That's right. It's the big get even.
The Tom and Steve show. Now, I don't know if there's going to be another Tom and Steve show because have you seen the price of Bitcoin? Which I think Tom was really heavily invested in Bitcoin.
Mm-mm.
Like I think it the bottom fell out of it.
Right. Which was,
so I don't know.
You knew that was going to happen.
Oh, again, it's not me. I mean, I don't have anything in Bitcoin, but I think Tom had a lot of money in Bitcoin, and I don't know if he's like, jumping off a cliff right now or what. I have no idea.
What was it worth when it didn't drop out?
I think it was up to 1,500 or something like that. Some crazy, crazy amount.
Somebody got rich on that. That's like the modern day Ponzi scheme. That's what that is.
I think it is. I think you're right.
Because it's not backed by. You know what it's similar to? I mean, there's slight differences. Remember the NASDAQ?
Mm-hmm.
It was like stratospheric in the 90s.
Yes.
And then people realized there's nothing here to grab if the company goes belly up. Like if General Motors goes bankrupt, there's factories, there's machinery, there's inventory, you can grab it. What was there to grab on a NASDAQ company, a technology company? They didn't make anything.
No, it was nothing.
That's how Bitcoin kind of was.
Yeah, it was code.
Yeah, just like
AOL was at like $99 to $100 a share.
Yeah, the big mistake was AOL buying Time Warner. They should have did it the other way around.
Yeah, I think you're right.
They should have had Time Warner buy AOL.
Mm-hmm. So hopefully Steve is still.
Yeah, maybe they're just on a hiatus. It is a holiday.
Well, he does every other weekend. So, and again, I don't know.
Yeah,
but I just
know
the
holidays too.
I know he was big into Bitcoin, and he talked about it a lot. And I enjoy the show. So if you enjoy this show, please do us a favor. Tell a few friends. Even share the episode on your social media accounts. It's easy to do. We are on these social media platforms. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/BrandX Podcast, on the Twitter at BrandX Podcast, and on Instagram at BrandX Podcast. Just like and follow us and share us with your friends. I just had someone reach out to us and say they really enjoyed the show because they heard Ped Miller talk about it.
No, that's cool.
That is very cool. And
Are they from across the pond as well?
I think they are. I think they are. We would love it if you joined in the conversation. Just reach out and let us know what you think. You can also email us at brandxpod@gmail.com. You can call into the Times Yours voicemail at 856-322-2473 and leave a message, and we will feature you in our next Times Yours segment if we ever get anything to feature, right?
And if you do call in, John will yell at you.
I won't yell at you.
As he yells at Deuce.
Maybe I will. I don't know. Who knows?
I want your feedback. Fuck you.
Maybe I have a problem. Who knows? Thank you very much for listening, and come on back next week for another episode of the Brand X Podcast.
Farewell.
They went to Ireland. Noticed the hat.
Yeah.
The Ireland hat. And
What the hell was that?
I have no idea. I went to breathe. And
Don't you dare ever yell at Anthony for coughing when you snort.
I don't know what that was. That will not be in the audio.
Oh, yeah.
Guarantee you that. That will. Or you can call into the time. You can call into the Times Yours. Fuck. You fat-tongued Jersey faggot.
Say that one more time.
Will you shut the fuck up so I can end the recording?
That's it. We're just getting into it.